इंजीनियर्स मैं इंजीनियर सुजीत आचार्य कॉर्पोरेट ऑफ सिविल गुरुजी सिविल की दुनिया सिविल गुरुजी द सिविल इंजीनियरिंग ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट। आज हम हमारे अप्रैल बैच के इंजीनियर अंजन प्रताप सिंह रिजिड पेमेंट के बारे में लाइव प्रेजेंटेशन देना चाहते हैं।
Hello, I am Anjan Pratap Singh from Civil Guruji Bhubaneswar branch, April 24 batch. So today I will be explaining about rigid pavement. So before proceeding into the details, I will tell you some key differences of rigid pavement from flexible ones. For example, rigid pavement is the initial cost of construction for rigid pavement is much higher than that of flexible pavement. The reason is that for flexible pavements you can see that after some time it wears up potholes and other stuff, but that doesn't happen in rigid pavement. So in the long run, rigid pavement is more economical as compared to flexible. Another thing about rigid pavement is that rigid pavement cannot be laid upon undulated areas like flexible pavements and in ghat sections. So third is the visibility of rigid pavement is much better than that of flexible pavement during night. But the thing is with rigid pavement is that is not that environment friendly as compared to flexible pavement. Now let's move into the details. So the subgrade of rigid pavement must have a CBR value of 8%. Then the GSB of the granular subbase must have an aggregate of 75 mm and a CBR of 30%. Now we will move to DLC or dry lean concrete. It is procured from RMC plant and it is transported using dippers. We can lay it manually or with the help of our electronic paver machine. We must not allow, after laying the same, we must not allow vehicles to move over it, otherwise it will damage it. It has an aggregate size of 26.5 mm and the OPC content must be around 150 kg per meter cube. And after 7 days of curing, the strength of DLC should be around 10 megapascals. After laying our DLC, we will cure it using spraying or sprinkling, but spraying is more preferred. Next, we will move to our PQC. Before moving to PQC, we have to separate our DLC and PQC to prevent passage of water from PQC into DLC. So this separation membrane is made of PVC and its overlap length should be around 300 mm, not exceeding that, and we can stick it with the help of a tape and its thickness should be around 125 to 180 microns. And after laying our PVC or separation membrane, we will move to PQC or pavement quality concrete. It is again procured from our RNC plant and transported using transient mixture. It is again paved with the help of, it can be done manually, but it is recommended that we use electronic paver to pave it. And its OPC content should be around 360 kg per meter cube and its aggregate size here is 31.5 mm and its strength should be around 4.0 MPa when we cure it for 28 days and 4.9 when we cure it for 90 days. And after laying our PQC, we will give a surface wearing course. Again, this let's coming into the PQC, we can see that it is separated in a 4 meter interval. These are basically these lines are known as contraction joints, and these are basically here to prevent cracks. So we in contraction joints we artificially dig a crack, and inside it we put a tie bar which should be of FE 500, which is dowel bar. Sorry, my mistake. This is dowel bar. It should be of S240 strength, and it should be of plane, and it should be in transfer direction, and it should have an epoxy coating which makes it looks green. These are basically used to prevent expansion and contraction. Here it is expansion joint and it is contraction joint. You can see both use double bars, and we have to give here in a contraction joint we have to give a backer rod, which is basically a plastic material, and above that we have to give an polysulfide sealant to seal it. And in expansion joint we need to give a filler board and exactly the same polysulfide sealant. And these are basically the differences between the tie bar and double bar. This is FE, we have to use in tie bars we have to use FE 500, and in double bars which we have to use S240. And tie bars are usually deformed and in double bars are usually plain. These are in longitudinal direction. Coming to tie bars, these are used to connect the different types of different slabs of our rigid pavement. Our rigid pavement is laid down in slabs. These tie bars are usually given for better structural integrity of our rigid pavement. Another advantage associated with rigid pavement is that if one of our slabs gets damaged, unfortunately, we can remove that entire slab and put a new one in that place. Thank you.